Welcome back to the Deep Dive. It's August 4th, 2025.
Great to be here.
We've got quite a stack of sources today, basically a snapshot of the top 10 global headlines from just the last 10 hours or so.
That's right. And our mission, as always, is to cut through that noise.
Find those crucial nuggets of knowledge, connect the dots.
Exactly. Help you feel truly well-informed about what's happening.
And what's striking here is just how fast things are moving, isn't it?
Absolutely. Major developments across the board, economy, diplomacy, even domestic stuff, human impact.
It touches everything.
We'll try and connect quite a few of those dots for you today.
Let's unpack this, see what the world was up to while you were, well, living your life.
Okay.
The global economic roller coaster. Interest rates, markets, and oil. Let's kick things off with economics. There's some, well, really surprising news out of the Bank of England.
Mm-hmm.
You might think they'd hold steady, with inflation concerns.
Right.
But the headlines say they're actually likely to cut interest rates down to 4%.
Yeah. And that's despite inflation nearing, what, double their target?
Double their usual 2% target. And they're expecting maybe another cut before the end of the year.
Wow. That's quite a pivot.
What do you make of that kind of move?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's happening against this backdrop of pretty significant market volatility.
Okay.
We saw Asia markets tumble initially. There were jitters about U.S. jobs data.
The July payrolls.
Exactly, weak July payrolls. And just general uncertainty, around tariff policy, Fed reshuffles. It looked like real fear of a slowdown.
Right, a tumble. But then, almost straight away, the headlines show this, wild turnaround.
Yeah.
Global markets rebounded. Investors started to, what's the phrase, bake in these rate cuts.
That's what it looks like. They're anticipating the easing.
So European U.S. futures recovered a bit. Oil prices fell. The dollar weakened. It's a real head-scratcher.
Inches.
A tumble, then a rebound, all within hours. What does that rapid reversal tell us?
Well, it really highlights how quickly market sentiment can shift, right? It suggests that for investors right now, maybe the anticipation of central banks stepping in, with rate cuts.
That outweighs the actual bad news.
It seems so. It outweighs the immediate economic data. They're betting the banks will prevent a major downturn.
Interesting.
And speaking of volatile markets, what's happening with oil is also pretty intriguing.
Go on.
So OPEC, plus the big oil producers group, they reintroduced 2.5 million barrels per day.
Right, in August and September. That's a lot of oil.
It is, and yet prices didn't really surge. They sort of stabilized around $70 a barrel.
Even with subdued demand being reported.
Exactly. So more supply, maybe weak demand, but prices are holding steady.
That is counterintuitive.
It suggests that the market's either absorbing it better than we think, or perhaps more likely, other bearish factors are just keeping a lid on prices.
Okay. Definitely a key detail for anyone tracking energy costs.
For sure. 2, high stakes geopolitics, tensions, diplomacy, and defiance.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit now to the geopolitical stage. Headlines here suggest things are escalating. Frankly, it's a little chilling.
What are we seeing?
The Kremlin warning against nuclear rhetoric. This follows a U.S. submarine deployment. Trump ordering subs amid these escalating Ukraine tensions.
Right. That's serious language.
Very serious.
Yeah.
What are the immediate implications when you hear that kind of rhetoric, see those actions?
Well, it's certainly a high-stakes moment. What stands out, though, is the immediate diplomatic response. It signals how urgent everyone thinks this is.
Okay, what kind of response?
We have the UN envoy, Steve Witkoff. He's a seasoned diplomat, often handles these tough situations.
Right.
He's set to visit Moscow, and this is just ahead of a crucial U.S. sanctions deadline.
The August 8th deadline. Trump's ultimatum.
Exactly. The ceasefire ultimatum for Ukraine, reportedly backed by threats of more sanctions. So this visit, it's a critical diplomatic push, trying to de-escalate. A lot riding on that.
And while all this is happening, India is making its own pretty bold statement.
Ah, yes, Prime Minister Modi.
Openly defiant of U.S. tariffs, vowing to keep buying Russian oil, supporting domestic goods, basically pushing back against increasing U.S. pressure.
It's quite a stance, isn't it?
It really is.
And it just highlights this complex, multipolar world we're living in now.
How so?
Well, India's defiance, it's not just about getting cheaper oil, though that's part of it.
Sure.
It's also a strategic move, asserting non-alignment, maybe. Using global energy needs to boost their own manufacturing, challenge those established economic blocs.
So using the situation to their advantage strategically.
Precisely. It shows how national interests can really shift alliances and energy strategies. It gives you a different perspective on international relations than the sort of Cold War binary we used to think in.
Right, much more complex now. 3, domestic policies and human impact. Data, rights, and daily life. Okay, let's bring things a bit closer to home for some listeners. National policy. In the U.S., Trump is set to appoint a new head for the Bureau of Labor Statistics within days, apparently.
Ah, the BLS. So the agency handling all the key economic data, employment, inflation.
Exactly. And this move is being presented as part of a broader effort to reshape economic data and the policy narrative around it.
That immediately raises questions, doesn't it, about transparency, trust in official numbers?
You think so?
Well, yeah. A key takeaway here has to be the potential implications for how you, the public, perceive the economy.
Right.
If data starts being presented as part of a specific policy narrative, it can influence everything. Investment decisions, consumer confidence, how people feel day to day.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, meanwhile, across the pond in the UK, critics are slamming the UK's Online Safety Act. The argument is it threatens free speech and privacy.
Ah, yes, that's been controversial for a while.
The headlines are specifically mentioning concerns for LGBTQ plus communities, activists, and also political speech, particularly around Gaza. This seems like a recurring tension point globally, this balancing act.
It certainly is. It really underscores a universal challenge.
Yeah.
How do societies balance needed online regulation with fundamental rights, like free expression?
A tough one.
It really is. It's a critical discussion about, the scope of government oversight versus protecting diverse voices online in the digital age.
And amidst all these big policy shifts, these global tensions, we also got a headline that just, it grounds you.
Oh.
A sobering reminder from Russia. 1 person killed, 11 injured. A tourist bus collided with a freight train up in the Leningrad region.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, just brings it back to the immediate personal realities of life sometimes amidst all the macro trends.
Absolutely. A tragic reminder, connecting to the listener.
So thinking about all this,
Yeah.
what does it all mean for you listening right now? Well, I think it means that within just, 10 hours, the world saw these major shifts. Economic policy changing unexpectedly.
Geopolitical tensions ramping up, but also urgent diplomacy trying to cool things down.
And these really critical debates about freedom, data, privacy, things impacting millions.
It's just a testament to the sheer speed, isn't it? And the interconnectedness of everything today.
Absolutely. Things happening continents apart are linked in ways we need to understand. Outro.
Yeah, and it's striking how these headlines, which might seem totally separate, interest rate cuts over here, nuclear rhetoric over there.
Right.
They really are all threads in the same very intricate global tapestry. And knowledge is, it's most valuable when you can connect it and apply it.
Understand the context.
Exactly.
Right.
Seeing these connections helps us all navigate this complex world a little better.
I think that clarity, like you said, is so important. It helps contextualize what can feel like just this overwhelming flood of news sometimes. We've taken our deep dive into these sources today and hopefully given you some real aha moments.
Hopefully.
So here's a provocative thought we wanted to leave you with, something to chew on.
Okay.
When you look back at these headlines, everything we just discussed, from those market swings, the rate cuts, to political appointments shaping data, how much of it do you think is genuinely driven by objective facts and data? And how much is perhaps shaped by, intentional narratives? And maybe more importantly, who ultimately gets to control those narratives?
That's a deep one to ponder.
Something to think about. We hope this deep dive leaves you feeling more informed and maybe a bit more curious too.
Keep questioning.
Until next time, keep exploring.